2022, 16 tracks, an hour and 20, okay? The Dripping Tap. I've heard bits and pieces of this song from watching a Brad Tasted music video, and it sounded fantastic. I'm very excited. Let's go. Thank you very much, Chivo, for sending this out, man. I'm going to mute while I eat. I didn't even know there was a band called Omnium Gatherum, to be honest. It's been 6.5 minutes. In what universe has it been 6.5 minutes? It straight up feels like it's been, like, maybe 3 minutes. That is insane. Yeah. It's like they're doing it, like they experiment with so many sounds, but they inject it with a very specific energy and style, which is probably my favorite thing about this band. Like, easily. It's kind of insane that they've been able to keep up this pace for the entire song. Like, it hasn't slowed down one single bit. Like, it does not feel like 11 minutes have gone by.
sit on the floor. Don't get drowned.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel pretty confident giving that a 10. Wow. Again, I'd heard bits and pieces of that song before, but I'd never heard the full thing front to back. And front to back, that is the best album opener to a King Gizzard album, I think. Are you kidding me? Firstly, what a statement to open this up on. This big 18-minute piece. Like, look at this. There's not a single other song on the album that even goes above, like, 10 minutes. And you start off with an 18-minute song. The lyrical content of that song, like, there seems to be some sort of, like, political undertone here. Like, the dripping tap won't be turned off by the suits in charge of the world. And our future's hanging on by a thread with our heads in the sand. Which I guess is meant to be like maybe the dripping tap is meant to be like a ticking time bomb, and it won't be turned off by like the people in charge because they have and everyone has their heads in the sand ignoring it, saying like the people with power aren't doing anything to save us, and everyone who's meant to convince the people with power has their heads in the sand and are choosing to ignore it. And I guess that's what the entire concept of this song is meant to be. And I guess this drip drip from the tap, don't slip. I guess that's meant to be him saying like, you've let this continue, don't slip on your own mistakes, maybe? Like, it's meant to be a sarcastic thing. I don't know, there is so many ways I can interpret this, it's just the political aspect is what I'm getting on a first listen here. And then you have the sound of this track. The fact that it is able to keep up this absolutely ridiculous amount of energy for the entire 18-minute runtime is so impressive. So impressive. It doesn't feel like 18 minutes. It feels like closer to 10 minutes, honestly. Every single riff, every single different section of the song is like basically perfect. Like, it's so fun, but also so actually dramatic and gripping at the same time. It is able to give me so many different feelings throughout the span of one single song. And I basically have zero complaints. I think I only paused once during that entire 18-minute song, which means this stream's going to get taken down very shortly. Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt that, to be honest. That is genuinely, like, probably the best King Gizzard album opener, I think, in my opinion. Next up, Magenta Mountain.
Look past the dying trees, beyond waterless seas. Life must be a dream, living fantasy, disappeared in hot air. Magenta Mountain. I don't believe you. Turn your eyes to the savior. Better check yourself in. No one's just creeping. Notebook's from your dream. Can't you see it gonna see? Pack my bags and my swag for the road. Follow the bones of the ancient railroads. Meet
One thing I will say is I don't know if this song makes much sense coming right after the dripping tap. Like, the dripping tap is advertising this big, crazy, loud rock album, and then this song is way more low-key than that. This song is, like, really subtle so far. I like the sound of this song, don't get me wrong. I think this is, like, a really strong track on its own up to this point, but in terms of, like, album structure, I don't know how well this works coming right after the dripping tap.
a rendezvous where clouds got misconstrued just to prove I'm not bad. Magenta Mountain. Magenta Mountain. It's you again. Saying there's nothing there. What's confusing? It's more.
This is like their white album, tons of different genres. I was gonna say awkward fade out, but it actually worked for the transition, so I can't be too mad. I like that song a lot, but I do feel like it is a very awkward follow-up to the dripping tap. The dripping tap is advertising this big, larger-than-life, massive rock album that's gonna be super intense, maybe even conceptual. And then Magenta Mountain is just sort of like, hey, here's a chill fun, more like psychedelic rock track. Which I liked the song. I think the song sounded fantastic, but coming after the dripping tap, it does feel a little awkward. I honestly don't even know if the dripping tap is the best opener to this album. The dripping tap feels like it could be a closer, now that I'm thinking about it. There is a part of me that wonders how great of a statement the dripping tap would be to close an album as opposed to open it. Huh. I don't know. I don't think it lowers the score of the dripping tap either way, because I think as a song I'd still give it a 10. But I don't know. I feel like I haven't heard the rest of the album, so maybe the funeral is like a great closer, and I'm going to change my mind on that. But I feel like the dripping tap could have been great as a closer. But yeah, either way, Magenta Mountain, it's still solid. It still sounds fantastic. The synthy sound that they're going for works very well for the song itself. I do feel like it is a little long. Like, it definitely doesn't warrant a 6-minute runtime. Maybe like a 5-minute, 4.5-minute runtime would have been better for that song. But still, either way, I thought it was solid. 8.5. Kepler 22b. Okay, yeah, we've just gone into a completely different sound now. R&B progressive Impala. Yeah, this album is listed under a crazy variety of genres. Psychedelic rock, psychedelic pop, neo-psychedelia, thrash metal, hip-hop, acid rock, progressive rock, psychedelic soul, stoner metal, and jazz rock. This is literally King Gizzard's White Album. Considering the length of it as well, this is literally King Gizzard's White Album. It's just going to be bouncing around a bunch of different styles. Yeah, there seems to be a mix of like the psychedelic pop and hip hop. Ooh. There we go. Oh, great transition. Yeah, this album seems like it's not going to have the best structure, so I'm just going to point that out now so that I don't have to keep pointing it out later. This album seems like it's going less for a cohesive album experience and more for, we're going to try doing this, we're going to try doing that, we're going to try doing a bit of this and a bit of that. Which is fine. It's just I personally prefer having a cohesive front-to-back album. However, I don't mind it that much when the songs sound this good. I like that one a tiny little bit more than Kepler 22b. It's like an 8.7. Yeah, that song, it was a surprisingly really strong blend of psychedelic pop and a little bit of R&B and even some hip hop as well in the drums. Production on that one, super strong. Like, that song is where, like, the King Gizzard production style really shines the most for me. That was insanely well produced. That sounded practically perfect. There were a few moments in there that I wasn't as crazy on. Like, there was a bit where it was just, like, the bass on its own. I thought that bit was a little awkward. And then I do feel like the song did maybe drag in a couple of spots. But besides that, that was another solid track. Yeah, 8.7 sounds about right. Next track, Gaia. Isn't Gaia a Godzilla villain? Unlucky. Was it peak? Gaia is not a Godzilla villain. Okay, I know literally just pointed out that I'm not going to be too bugged by the flow being off, but Jesus Christ, the previous song into this song is terrible. Why are these two songs placed back to back? This literally makes zero sense coming after the last song. Yeah, it might as well be a playlist. This could have maybe been a good follow-up to the Dripping Tap. Maybe, even then, I don't know. Huh. This placement doesn't make any sense. Hopefully the whole album's not like that. I get a feeling that it might be. The sound of the song's pretty good though. I have no clue what time signature that bit was in. Yeah, this bit's in 9. Let me start with the biggest negative about not only this song but this album so far. Flow, absolutely terrible. Placement of each of these tracks is abysmal. Okay? I mean, Magenta Mountain and Kepler 22b back-to-back sort of works, but Dripping Tap into Magenta Mountain and Kepler 22b into Gaia, no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. Specifically, these two back-to-back. You get this, like, psychedelic pop track with some R&B and hip-hop elements straight into the thrash stoner metal track. It makes no sense. It is actual tonal whiplash. But the sound of that song was actually pretty good. I would give this one a high 7. It was definitely a little too long, in my opinion. There were a couple moments that felt a little awkward, and like they just didn't really match the tone of the song. And there were also bits that just felt like they were going for it a bit too hard. Like when he was shouting, "I am Gaia." There were a couple points where I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ, okay, it's a bit much." But for the most part, that song had some great riffs. The heaviness of that track definitely elevated it a lot. The bits where I wasn't cringing at the vocals, I thought they worked super well. And lyrically, I found that song to be decently interesting too. So it gets a high 7 for me. Ambergris? Not too sure how to say that. Oh my god. Yeah, it makes no sense after the previous song. Yeah. Incredible bass line on this one. Love the drum sound as well. The way that the synths kind of swell as well adds a lot to this. Adds a lot of texture. Okay. Yeah, again, that after Gaia makes no sense. But the song itself is pretty good. I give that one like an 8.2, I think. Some really, really, really smooth moments on that song. In particular, the bass line and the synths on that track basically carry it the entire way through. Like, it is actually so chill. Like, it sounds like something I could easily fall asleep to. It does kind of bug me how inconsistent the sound of the album is, though. And the other thing that kind of bugs me is the fact that this album isn't necessarily what it was advertised as. After I heard Dripping Tap, I was like, okay, this album's going to be absolute fire, high energy front to back, and then it hasn't been. And I haven't disliked it up to this point, but there is a part of me that kind of wishes that this album was more like the Dripping Tap. Still, enjoying it up to this point. There are many bad songs so far. Sadie Sorceress, up next.
This is Sadie Sorceress.
Squabble and gobble, eats blood and trouble, never seen a devil in it. She flies a handbag, freak flag, dragon slayer knapsack. Her approach with Macedon, brings it on his carry-on shot. Like partisan, living non-partisan, Leviathan, cardigan, elegant artisan. Concealing her identity as an evil entity, anti-sanctity, inefficacity, quantity. Nightshade, bringing death commander, propaganda, oleander, poisonous like Monica. She's messing up the fuck shit up.
Okay, when it said hip-hop, I didn't think we were going to get an actual full-on hip-hop track. I thought it was just going to be like some hip-hop elements, like on Kepler 22b with the drums. I didn't think we were actually going to get... Okay.
Hello, love. How are you?
Speaking shaman, sorceress, cackling, batching, talking bombers, falls on the nose, no one knows it's so public they can't ignore it. Pitchforks banging on her door, they wanna throw her overboard. As she throws those things into the floor.
Sadie Sorceress. Sadie Sorceress. Sadie Sorceress.
I don't even know what I would score that, to be honest. What the hell? I was not expecting an actual, just straight up hip hop song on this album. I mean, that song was okay. I like the instrumental, I guess. But the lyrics and the vocals, man, they were just... It was super awkward. It is better than I would expect a King Gizzard hip-hop track to be, I guess. But the vocals and lyrics were definitely very awkward. But the actual instrumental itself was genuinely good. I thought the instrumental actually was pretty hard-hitting. It was well-paced. That song was surprisingly very well-paced. But yeah, this is definitely my least favorite up to this point. It's like a low 6. Like a 6.2. Evilest Man. This section is kind of nice. This is definitely a sweet little moment here, where like the strong instrumental kind of gets to shine. I will say the song is way too long.
From what I see, misinformation around me. I have no faith in what I read. The tabloids and the TV screen. I see it just as clear as the high definition images. Very long must his arms be to spare the distance he can reach. Should make all out four corners square. Change the locks when I get home.
Very strong outro. Yeah, I disagree with what I said. I don't think this song is too long. It actually once I get to the end here, I actually realize that it does warrant its 7.5 minute runtime. That song got progressively better as it went along. It started off with me sort of being like, okay, sure, sounds kind of nice, but I'm not crazy on it. To being like, okay, it's kind of picking up, and then at the end, it basically fully clicked with me. I feel like basically once it got to that little instrumental section, from that point onward, the song was like absolutely fantastic. But you do also have like the first half of the song where I just sort of was a little indifferent. It definitely does take its time to get going for me, but once it does, it's pretty great. It's like I give this a like a 7.6, I think. Yeah, 7.6. Because the parts that are great are really great, but it also has a couple of just super boring moments that didn't really grip me that much. Next up, The Garden Goblin. Yeah, anything that I give like an 8 or higher, I add to my like songs basically, because an 8 essentially means like I would listen to the song again. Well, not necessarily. Well, I don't know. A heart basically means like I would listen to the song again. Some songs below an 8 get a heart, and some songs above an 8. Nice transition. That song was kind of cute, kind of fun, kind of sweet, but nothing more than that. It's fine. It's a nice piece of the album, I suppose, but it really doesn't do anything that impresses me all that much. It's just simple, a nice little piece, but does kind of feel almost like filler. I don't know. I'm just kind of whatever on that track. 6.5, I guess. Blame it on the weather. Okay, that song was good. That song was fine. I'll give that one like a flat 7. Again, a very short, very simple song, but I feel like that one sort of clicked with me a lot more than the Garden Goblin. The transitions do go hard, yeah. The transitions are one of the strongest things about this. Again, I'm not... This run of tracks ever since track 5 has just sort of been fine, but nothing great. I hope that the album is able to pick it up from here onwards. But yeah, this final run of tracks has just been, in comparison to the rest of the album, and in comparison to most King Gizzard albums, just a little weak for me. Even if every song has been technically in the green. Hopefully, the album is able to pick up a little bit. Next track, Persistence. I will say that the flow is definitely getting a little better. Like, these previous 3 songs actually feel like they make sense back to back. I would say even Evilest Man, actually. Evilest Man, up to this point, these songs actually make sense back to back, as opposed to, like, the first 6 songs where it's just, like, the most inconsistent thing ever. I will say that the one thing that has improved from track 7 onwards has definitely been flow and structure. Hey, this is the strongest song we've had. What, since maybe since track 3. Yep, that is the strongest song since track 3. That is an absolutely amazing bounce back after the this previous, what, 4-track run of songs that are fine, but not doing much for me. That song, great bounce back, 8.5. That one was super catchy. Instrumental was actually so fun. It made a lot of sense coming after Blame It on the Weather as well. It had enough time to be fleshed out but didn't overstay its welcome. Yeah, I absolutely love that one. An amazing bounce back, and I'm hoping that this marks a turn for the album where the songs start getting a little more engaging for me. Next song, The Grim Reaper. We got another hip-hop track, ladies and gentlemen. That means this is probably going to be ass. Yeah, the way they incorporate the hip-hop elements into this album is just so awkward. It is so awkward. This... Instrumental is amazing though. These instrumental moments are really strong.
The Grim Reaper cashes the check. Rotted flesh or the wrist. The Grim Reaper cashes the check. Heaven sent a silhouette of many wicked men. Feel us reckoning, thinking they're the most powerful they've ever been. I begin to comprehend the arrogance. Put it in a time of cranium. Rotted flesh or the wrist. The Grim Reaper cashes the check. Rotted flesh or the wrist. The Grim Reaper cashes the check.
Yeah, that's the weakest song on the album up to this point for me. It's like a 5. 5.4, I guess. Instrumental was pretty good. But man, the rapping just is so awkward. I don't know, man. Like, the two hip-hop songs we've gotten have been the weakest, in my opinion. They just feel awkward as hell. Alright, next track, Presumptuous.
So presumptuous, with tongue in cheek. So presumptuous, little me. So presumptuous, falling at your feet. So presumptuous, don't agree with your negativity.
They have done 2 rap songs so far, and they've both been like my least favorite songs on the album. Like the previous song was a rap song, and I just thought it was super awkward. The rapping is definitely the weakest part of the album.
So presumptuous, falling at your feet. So presumptuous, letting go unwillingly.
We need a King Gizzard moratorium. You fully resent their existence now. Yeah, I see what you mean, Eddie, yeah. I maybe wouldn't say start with this one, but I feel like this would be a good, like, maybe second or third album. I don't know which one I'd say to start with, though. Chronological Gizzard is just too weird. The first few albums are 2-1 for a first listener.
So presumptuous, falling at your feet. So presumptuous, what's it gonna take for you?
Cool. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Give that one a flat 8. That was honestly a really, really solid track. Yeah, the mid-section of this album is such a mixed bag for me. I mean, you have good songs in here like Ambergris and The Grim Reaper and Presumptuous. Not The Grim Reaper, sorry, Persistence and Presumptuous. And then you have songs like The Grim Reaper and Sadie Sorceress. And then this whole run of tracks here, basically, up to Persistence, which just don't really do much for me. But Presumptuous, Persistence, both these songs hit for me. Presumptuous, I feel like, while it isn't my absolute favorite up to this point, is still a very fun, very... what's the word? I feel like it's a very easy to digest track, and this is one that I could just find myself re-listening to, like, a bunch, just because of how simple and sweet and easy on the ears it is. It's a very simple song, one of the most simple up to this point, and I feel like that is what makes it work for me. Next up, Predator X.
Predators.
Isn't Predator X the, Yeah. Yep, Predator X is a prehistoric underwater creature. It is a... Oh, it's a plesiosaurus. Oh, yeah. When I think Predator X showed up in an episode of Planet Dinosaur, I think it was in. I remember I watched Planet Dinosaur a bunch when I was a kid. Yes, it was. Okay, so Predator X is basically like an undersea... Like, basically the biggest underwater carnivore. I think besides the Megalodon, I think. Predator X was massive. I like that one. Nice. Cool, fun little metal track in here. 8.2. Again, it is very out of place, especially in comparison to freaking Presumptuous. These two songs don't work back to back, but the song itself sounds fantastic. The former dinosaur nerd of me when I was a child it's cool to see a song literally based on Predator X. Like, that's kind of cool. I don't know. Really great riffs. Vocals didn't actually bug me too much on that one, even though I thought they were a little over the top. I don't know, that one was just solid. I thought that one was really fun. Red Smoke. Seems like we're gonna get a really strong final bunch of tracks. I like that one a lot as well. That one is like 8.4. I thought that one was super smooth. Yeah, that one was just super smooth. Again, one of the more stripped back, well, not necessarily stripped back, one of the more low-key songs on here. And I think that works in its favor. Go away! This fly won't leave me alone. I completely lost what I was going to say. Yeah, it's one of the more low-key songs on the album, and I think that works in its favor. I do feel like maybe it's a little long, could have possibly been shortened a tiny bit, but I don't know, it's still good. I like the song a lot. Down to the final two, Candles. The song flew by. That did not feel like 4.5 minutes. Yeah, that was one of my favorites up to this point. 8.8. One of the strongest instrumentals on the entire album. Such a fantastic vocal performance on that one as well. It was just so smooth. The pacing of that song was so good. It did not feel like 4.5 minutes. Why? Why do you feel the need to interrupt my recording? Why? This fly, it's just griefing me. The fly is griefing me. What was I saying? I don't even know. Song very good. 8.8. The Funeral. We're finally here. The final song of the album. I've been talking about this album. Well, that was 2 hours ago, so probably nearly 2 hours, basically. Okay, that was Omnium Gatherum. That final song I am going to give a 7.2. It's fine as a closer. Sounds nice. It's kind of cool, kind of mysterious, a little creepy. I don't know why it's the closing track. I don't know how much sense it makes being the final song, but, you know, cool. Sounded nice, I guess. That was Omnium Gatherum by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Now, the only thing I had heard from this album before listening to the album were bits and pieces of the Dripping Tap, and those bits and pieces I had heard of the Dripping Tap were amazing. And then, you know, starting off the album, listening to the full song, I thought it was incredible. Possibly my favorite opener to any King Gizzard album. I think that song is a 10. Very good. But then, what that song advertises is a big, grand, loud rock album that is going to be absolutely insane, super high energy front to back. And that isn't really what you get. You get bits and pieces of that on certain songs, like Gaia or on Predator X, but for the most part, this album isn't that. This album is very tonally and sonically inconsistent. Not many of these songs make sense back to back. Like, in particular, going from Kepler 22b to Gaia doesn't make any sense. Going from Presumptuous into Predator X doesn't make any sense. Even the Dripping Tap into Magenta Mountain, and then Predator X into Red Smoke. Like, a lot of the flow on this album is just very awkward, and that definitely is something that holds it back. Yeah, this album holds some of my absolute favorites from the band. The Dripping Tap, I thought Candles was absolutely great as well. And then it holds some of my absolute least favorite songs that I've heard from the band as well, like The Grim Reaper or like Sadie Sorceress. To put this album into a word, into a sentence, it would be really strong, but very inconsistent. Let me figure out what my overall score for this album would be. And plus 7.2, divide that by 16. Yeah, that sounds actually basically exactly correct as to what I would predict my score for this album was. I am feeling a 7.8 on this album. It's a good album, it's a strong album, but I wouldn't say it quite reaches the status of being a great album. There we go, that is like one of the longest reviews I have written on this site. Look at that, that is pure yap right there.